welcome to Everyday Journey. Right now I'm going to work on my Gravely 144Z. This thing shakes like crazy, and I'm going to see if I can't give you a good idea of how that is. I'll show. I think it'll probably vibrate more at the handles, so I'll give you a sideways view of that. But let me start it up and see if you can see it right now. Really does it at high rev. Anyway, I can feel it vibrating like crazy. I looked all over the place when it first happened. I heard something. It sounded kind of like, well, it sounded like a plastic fan actually. So the first thing I thought of is the only exposed fan that I could think of is the hydro fan. So I pulled up the seat real quick. I shut it off and everything. It sounded like plastic fan actually hitting up against something. And so I'll show you that real quick. And there's my hydro fan. And I opened it up and I looked around. I didn't see anything where it could be rubbing against anything. It looked like it wasn't damaged, so I just assumed that wasn't my problem. But it was shaking like crazy, and so the next thing I thought of is, okay, is it something I hit? Well, I didn't hit anything at the time, so I, kind of ruled out the blades. Plus, I disengaged the blades, just had the engine running, and when the engine itself was running without the blades going, it was still shaking like crazy. So I wasn't sure what it was. I thought maybe it could be a bearing going out on the motor. So I decided to check into it a little further, and well, let me show you what I found. And this, I think, might be my problem. It's hard to see. Don't even know if you're going to be able to see it, but if you look down in between all these holes, right over here, you can see that the plastic fan in there looks like it's missing a few of the fins. Can't imagine how that could be causing that much shake in this motor, but I bought another one anyway because I know that needs to be balanced, and if it's only broken off on one side, it's not balanced. So I'm going to take this apart, check it out, let you guys see how to do it. Okay, as you see, I got a Kawasaki FH500, and actually that's a 500V, as in Victor, motor, 17 horse, and it seems like it runs great. Just that one issue there. So those bolts I need to take off on top. These are all 10mm. This actually just removes this screen to protect everything in there. And this is one of two actually. There's this one and there's the inner one here, and the inner one actually spins around with the motor. So this one's just the guard that goes on top of that. So we'll take off these. Like I said, there's 4 of them here. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. However you want to look at it. There we go. We can remove this. It just pops off of there. Just set it aside. Next thing I got, I'm going to go ahead and take off this screen. And that looks like 10mm also. So you're going to have to kind of hit it quick, because whenever you try to turn it, it tries to turn the motor too. If you got any issues with that, then you should just go ahead and disconnect the spark plug wires, just to make sure it's not going to start on you. So we remove these, and then remove this screen. Now make sure you don't lose these spacers. That's there to keep this screen from riding on this plastic housing or shroud. You'll need that to put it back together. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're actually going to take off the shroud. It's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. There's 2 on the right hand side, 2 on the left hand side. This first one down here, you don't have to remove them. You just have to loosen them. You'll see why in a second. This one here, there's an oil dipstick right here. Let's see if I can show it to you if you can't see it. The oil dipstick, it's kind of bolted on with this, and it's a little hard to get to, so I actually had to flip the wrench around and use the box end portion of it, and it would help if I turned it the right direction. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen this. And you might be able to see these on the left hand side. There's one right here and one right here. Again, just loosen them up. This one. Okay, I think that should be good. See if we can remove this strap. There we go. And now you can see my problem like crazy. It's broken here. Well, the fins are broken off. This part right here is broken. There's cracks all along here. That just looks like stress cracks. And it's all dry and cracked through all the way through here. So I'm thinking it's just the heat of the motor, plastic, just didn't do too well, and everything started, you know, centrifugal force is causing this to bow out, so it just started cracking and breaking. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this here. 17mm socket. And you don't have to use impact, but it makes it a lot easier because this is going to be on there pretty tight. And if you use anything else, you're going to have to try to keep the engine from spinning. You know, put something in there to wedge into the flywheel, something to keep it from spinning as you try to loosen that. With impact, you don't have to worry about it as much. But yeah, you can see. I mean, this thing is just, it's shot. So I bought another one, and hopefully that fixes my problem. Here's what the new one looks like. It's all the way around. It's all connected. All the fins are there. Of course, this one's got holes here, but I suspect that's just for a different motor that it could go on. One thing you need to check on down here is these little plastic pieces that stick down. Those go in one special place right here. They go on each side of this. So just make sure that it's sitting right. Once you put it down there, you try to turn it, it's just it'll wiggle, but it won't turn. This is the plate that went on top of it. It's actually got a pin that sticks down right here. That actually goes right here into this hole. So just place it in there, and then these plastic pieces that stick up on this will actually fit down into the holes that are on that deal there. We'll just put it back together. It's got three pieces that stick up right here. There's three holes right here. Just make sure that those go the way they're supposed to be. Alright, camera died. So everything's on here. Go ahead and put our bolt in. And since I'm using the impact wrench, I'm going to hand thread that and make sure I don't cross thread anything. So now it's started, I can go ahead and drive this down. Now there's probably specs on that for how tight to torque that down. I don't have them, and I'm in a hurry, so we're not doing it the proper way. Putting this shroud back down. Over here on the left side, there's a spark plug cable that sticks out. Can't really see it here, but there's actually a little groove or whatever for that spark plug cable to go through. To make sure that it's fitting down on all the bolts properly, and we'll go ahead and tighten them up. So we got two on the right side, two on the left side. I'm pushing down on the shroud while I tighten this, because I'd like to make sure that they're all down where they should be, because if not, they could get in the way of that screen that spins around on top. Now I'd like to keep the shroud from getting messed up. this one here I had to use the box end. I think that's a box end of the wrench because again that oil dipstick tube is in the way. So these are the two on the left. Now it's time to put our, well, that's always good. Try not to drop anything. Okay, now we can put our spacers back on. And then put our screen over the top of that. Probably has a special name for it, but it really doesn't matter. This isn't a technical show, this is just how to get it done. So I think I paid about 20 bucks or less for this this piece I'm replacing here. So it's not too expensive, but you know, if you were to leave it, yeah, okay, it makes the engine shake, but you know, if you were to leave that, then where I was talking about it could have been the bearings or something like that. You know, that shaking will wear out your engine faster. You'll have bearings that wear faster and everything else. You know, so why even worry about it? 15, 20 bucks, whatever this costs. You know, it's worth it to me to go ahead and replace it and keep the you know, keep something as bad as bearings from being a problem. Okay, that screen's on. We're going to put our protective cover here back on because, well, go back to the bearings thing. I actually took apart my my transmission for I've got a little Honda Civic, and I had to pull the whole transmission out and then replace one bearing was going bad. So I pulled it out, took it all apart. Luckily it was a manual transmission, and I think it took me, because I've never done it before, it took me like I think it took me like 3 or 4 days to get it all done. Actually longer than that, because I had to figure out what bearings were what, and then, you know, which ones were damaged, and then order those. Of course, then I decided to go ahead and get the other ones too while I was at it. So that's back together. Now it's time to test it. So I'm going to go back over here to the side and let you see. Hopefully, you can see a difference in the shake with the handles there. But we'll check that out. Let's go ahead and see what this does. Well, that made a considerable amount of difference there. It runs better than it ever has since I bought it. Of course, I bought it used, so you know that could have been a problem with it even whenever I first bought it. I don't really know, but like I said, that feels a lot smoother. So if you guys like what you see, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting new things all the time. Normally things like this, but you know, who knows what I'll post up there. Appreciate you watching, of course, and you know, this time if you have any comments, please leave some comments. Nobody's ever left me any comments, and well, I kind of feel left out. So you know, try to keep them clean if you can, but you know, I appreciate any kind of comments. If you got any feedback on what you'd like me to work on, or what you'd like me to do, or if you got any questions, you know, I have a lawn mowing business. If you have any questions about that, go ahead and ask me. And it's a small business, but I pretty much I handle a little bit of everything. So everything from landscaping to tree trimming and I've even done some full tree removal, both just cutting and letting it fall, and some of it just you know, actually climbing up in it with all the ropes and pulling down branch by branch, and you know, it's rough work, it's dangerous, but proper safety measures and everything, it can be accomplished even with one person. So, like I said, leave me some comments, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to have some more videos out there for you guys here in the near future. So, thanks for watching Everyday Journey.